And now we have a lovely update on someone who Vinnies Victoria has known for some time and has assisted. This young man's story illustrates how we help to remove the risk of homelessness, especially for people living with uncertainty and insecurity, such as refugees on temporary visas. And we do this by assisting with rent, with food, and importantly, with friendship. Moj Rezai also spent a short time as a volunteer in one of our much-loved Vinnies shops. And that's where the star of the documentary, Miriam Margolyes Almost Australian, met him, as we'll see in this short clip.
What's your name?
My name is Moj.
Moj, I'm Miriam.
Nice to meet
you. Where are you from?
I'm from Afghanistan.
A tough place to come from. What was your business when you were in Afghanistan?
I was only 11, 12 years old. I never had a business.
Did your mum and dad come with you?
I lost them in the war.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
With 5 of my brothers, my mom, I lost them in the war.
Is there a place we can sit down? So you came on a plane or on a boat?
I come by a boat. I was a little boy.
You came quite alone? Was nobody with you?
No. I'm 25, I'm still alone. At the same time, I'm happy. I'm relaxed. I'm happy what I got. I'm proud who I became. If I can communicate with people, I can talk to people, I can listen to people, I'm safe here. I'm not gonna die tonight. I'm not gonna get a bomb in my head. I'm not gonna get a shot in my head. I'm just happy to be here.
Do you know when your birthday is?
I don't know how old I am. I never had a birth certificate.
No.
I always want to find out how old I am. I'm sorry. It's tough to talk about those kind of things.
I want to ask you about your visa. What is the situation?
At the moment, I'm in a protection visa, and my visa is finishing next year, and I don't know what to do.
It seems that Moj is in no man's land. From what I know, a temporary protection visa is just that, temporary. As inclusive as Australia is, the government has decided that no one who arrives by boat will ever get permanent residency here. I hope in my heart of hearts that's not true for Moj.
So what is the dream? The dream that you have now?
Dream is I just want to be independent like you guys. I would love to go help young people, because when I was young, I get a lot of help. I got to give it back.
I think Australia is very lucky to have you.
I'm delighted to have Moj and Ross Custis here with me this evening. Ross is the General Manager of National Operations at Repco, who reached out to Vinnies after watching Almost Australian. Repco's parent company, GPC Asia Pacific, had recently launched a philanthropic foundation and was developing a scholarship fund to create pathways to employment for people who experience disadvantage. Hello to both of you and thank you for being here.
Welcome, thank you.
Moj, let's start with you. When did you first come in contact with Vinnies and how were we able to help?
I was, be honest, about to become a homeless, you know. And I called St. Vincent de Paul. They sent me a 2 beautiful person to my house. Pauline and her husband was Graham. They come visit me in my house because I was going through a lot of hard time, because I had a couple of fall down. I had an accident, lost a lot of money, lost my house, lost my cars. And they helped me out a lot with the helping find the right accommodation. Keep calling me every week to see how I'm going, everything's fine. If I needed any food or any help, or if I need to go to the doctor or something, if I need a medication. Always they've been there for me, Pauline and Graham. And they find me my accommodation, they pay for my rent for a long period, they helped me out to stand up my feet. And now I'm here, and now Be honest, I'm forwarding my rent. Like I'm gonna credit on the rent, credit on my bills, forwarding my electricity. Everything is good, yeah. And now I'm here because of their help.
And Ross, why did you reach out when you saw Moj on Almost Australian?
This guy with a bubbly personality, big beaming smile, in the shop giving great customer service, and at Repco, like many businesses, we're trying to find talent and find people with those sort of characteristics in our workplace. And here was a guy that, you know, was potentially looking for work, or I didn't know his circumstances at that stage. So I reached out to the ABC, they put me in contact with the team at Vinnies, and then everything sort of grew from there.
So Ross, how did you approach working with Vinnies and Moj? Moj had been diagnosed with PTSD and Repco would need to support him. How important was it to be transparent with that?
So when we started this program, it was really fundamental to make sure that through our network of stores, that we chose the right store, the right area manager, and a team within that store that had the culture that we knew could support. Lucky enough, we have a store in Melbourne, in Preston, with a beautiful lady, Lisa, who's here today with Moj, who's been at the centre of the successful transition we've seen from Moj in this period, and has been there to support Moj every step of the way. So finding that right team with the right culture has been a key learning from us throughout this program.
And more broadly, how does the foundation work and what's the ethos behind the scholarship fund?
The GPC Foundation is built off a framework in our organisation of, in our local communities, giving back. The foundation was then built to grow that. So there's 5 key pillars to the program. One of the ones in which we've worked with Moj on is our GPC Scholarship Fund. And there's other elements to the program around third-party charity support and allowing our team members to volunteer. We're creating a team member hardship fund and a disaster relief fund to be used in local communities when required.
So Ross, what does Moj bring to the organisation?
This man here brings a lot to our organisation, so as well as his beautiful smile and his bubbly personality and excellent customer service skills, Moj has hidden skills that maybe people don't understand or realise. So Moj, I think you can speak 5 to 7 different languages?
Of course, yeah, 7 different languages I can speak. Sometimes the customer come inside, they don't know how to explain something, and I started talking in their own language, and as soon as they figured out, oh, you're talking my language, it's a lot of help for them as well. That's why they keep coming back, the customers, because they're comfortable.
Those sorts of things are priceless, especially when you're dealing in the customer service world. And as well as helping educate our staff and our team members on the elements that your background and the different cultures as well has been great.
Of course.
So he's an absolute asset to our team.
And Moj, you started working 2 days a week?
I started working from 2 days.
And then you went to 3.
Jumped into 3, went to 5.
Now you've got a full-time contract.
Full-time contract, permanent.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, thanks.
How did you feel about signing the contract?
Oh my God. I didn't know what to do because I was so happy somebody believing me, give me that job. They saw me and they thought, oh, give him a chance, Now I'm full-time permanent. I'm proud of myself.
That's great. And Ross, tell us about the strategies you've put in place to support Moj and how important was it, as you said earlier, to place Moj in the right environment?
So Moj is our first inductee into our scholarship fund. So we built a framework around that. The first thing we realised was this wouldn't work if we brought Moj in as a normal, not as a normal full-time employee in the store. So we added a head count to the store so that the store manager didn't feel pressure from day one. So that was learning number 1. Learning number 2 was we thought we'd start Moj on 2 days a week, not knowing how he would cope with the work environment. There's a lot of technical numbers and a lot of technical stuff that Moj has probably picked up in the last period of time. But Moj was the one that reached out to us pretty quickly and early on, saying he would like the consistency of coming to work more often. So that's where we brought him on to 3 days a week.
That's right.
But definitely the biggest learning we've had is ensuring we find the right store, the right team and the right culture. Repco is a family. It has a family culture in our whole network. But within those networks, there are people like Lisa who have really good core values.
Yeah, Lisa been a huge part of my life, be honest, from the day I went there. From the start, I didn't want to stay because it was a start getting too much for me. But she was the one, like, you can do it. She wanted me to see I'm success, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm really thankful she's there, you know, anytime I need her, yeah. Huge support. You know, this is a different environment and different side for me. I never worked in this kind of environment, but it's got a good and bad, frustrating and happiness, you know, you gotta deal with it. Sometimes because of my diagnosis, my mental health, and if sometimes things get hard and I just grab a glass of water and ask for the second person, would you please cover me? I gotta go have a break 5 minutes. Because it's a different environment. A lot of different people come in with a different attitude, with a different perspective. As a customer service, you cannot be angry. You gotta give them a smile. And if you cannot do that, ask nicely for the second person if they can serve them. That's why I always try to keep it as a positive way and give them a smile.
Yeah, so you've identified what works for you
Yeah.
In that way. What's the best thing about working at Repco?
Oh, everything. Like, I'm not alone anymore. I'm not lonely anymore. I'm only lonely when I just go home and eat dinner and go to bed. I got a family now. Yeah, I got a brothers, sisters. I work like you know, it means a lot.
Ross, what about the scholarship fund? What's next?
We're working with a team centrally now to try and bring on another 5 to 7 people through the program this year, from all different walks of life and across Australia and New Zealand. So we only see building from here, and we want to build strong relationships with partners like Vinnie's to help, you know, bring those team members to us that that we don't know are out there, and hopefully together we can try and, you know, build more successful stories like Moj and prevent more people from going into places like homelessness.
And it's a GPC's first CEO sleepout tonight. So who's sleeping out, and any top fundraising tips for us all?
Well, we've gone straight to the top for the CEO sleepout. So our CEO, Rob Cameron, is sleeping out, as is our Executive General Manager of Legal, Carrie, who's pivotal to the GPC Foundation. And Repco's Executive General Manager, Wayne Bryant, are all sleeping out, so all 3 of them. The fundraising tips, I think, you know, especially at a board level, people are generally pretty competitive. So I think the 3 of them have done a great job at hitting their targets from the network.
Okay, Moj, what about your hopes for the future?
I'm keep climbing up because future gonna be great. Yeah, because I got a lot of support now. I got St. Vincent de Paul, I got Lisa, I got Repco. I'm not alone anymore.
That's fantastic. It really is. It's so great to hear from you. Before we finish, I've got a message here from a special guest that I'd be delighted to share with you.
Hello, Moj. I hope you remember me, although it's a while since I've seen you. But you have been in my mind quite a lot. You're the sort of guy that people don't forget. And that's a good thing. I've heard great news. Repco've given you a job. I hope you're thrilled. I am. Because once we get you working and feeling confident, there's no end to what you'll be able to do. You're a very special guy. And you have made my life better just by coming into it. And all the people that saw our program think you're fabulous. I do. And I send you my love. And I hope we'll be talking soon. Bye-bye. And congratulations.
Wow, that's beautiful. I couldn't believe it, she still remember me.
I'm going to remember that I've met you too.
That means a lot for me. Yeah.
Well done, Moj.
Well done. Thank you both very much for sharing your stories. I'm sure many of our CEOs will be really interested and inspired to hear the story, and I think also the Repco story and how creating something like you've done within the organisation can make such a difference to people. So thank you both.
Thank you.
And now it's back to you, David.